Yo yo yo, new day, new død. So I'm very intrigued. Call me captivated, if you will, about this new. I've begun a new manga called Gachiakuta, which is a goofy ass name, but it's actually really fucking good. Um, it's like it's still ongoing. So it's basically the one saving grace for weekly Shonen Jump. Because every other fucking manga out there that they have is either already finished or is finishing up real fucking soon. As in, My Hero Academia just finished up, like last week. Not gonna read through that shit. That's just gonna be a. I don't fucking know. I hate My Hero. It's dog shit. But thankfully there are One Piece and Jujutsu Kaisen still going on, still running. But those are both wrapping up. Jujutsu Kaisen probably like at the end of this year. One Piece is beginning to wrap up, but One Piece is so fucking long. It's still gonna take like 5 years or so, but it's beginning to wind down. So there's not really a lot of series to pick up the slack, You have like Dandadan, which is pretty good, but I've not been reading that weekly, even though I should. Even though I'm telling myself I do, I don't. But Dandadan's pretty good. Kaiju number 8 supposedly also really good. Sakamoto Days supposedly also really good. Didn't like the first 5 chapters, so I haven't continued it. And then you have Gachiakuta, basically the only real shonen among them. At least I feel that way, because this, what I've just read is really shonen-like. It's it's the first thing in a good while that has actually had the same feeling, reminded me of the Sasuke retrieval arc from Naruto. It's not at all the same, it's not the same plot points, anything, but it's just the same feel of the shonen, splitting up the crew and going off on a bunch of one-on-one battles. I don't know, it's just a cool feeling. It's a cool, it's shonen. It's not supposed to, make that much logical sense. Why don't they just, the bad guys have a literal teleporter guy? Why don't they just, gang up on each one of them? 4-on-1, 4 times in a row. That doesn't really make sense, but that's how it is, okay? So basically, just to set the world, because this is, what we're introduced to, the prologue is just a city where there's a huge void, like a cliff, pretty much, just into nothingness, and there's nothing on the horizon. It's just darkness and void. And there, they just throw trash down, because why would they have trash up there on the, by where they live, pretty much. But at the top of the society, there's also there is a lot of difference between rich and poor. Pretty much, it's the poor live on the outskirts, they live just by the cliff, just by the void, and they're not supposed to go into there's a very clear border between the rich and poor, and if a poor person goes in and collects trash from the rich people, which is it's good trash, which is weird to say, but it's just good shit, because they're rich. We don't know a lot of lore about this place, mainly being because we don't spend a lot of time there, even though it's the first place we're at, because our main character guy, he ends up stealing a bunch of trash, and that is very not good. And then he's basically, he's set up by someone to he killed his own father, There was some lore about his father also being a murderer. He's not his actual, like, you know, it's a fucking shonen. It's not his biological parents. But basically his father figure named Recto or Lecto. I don't know. Main character is called Rudo. Maybe he's called Ludo, but I'm calling him Rudo. You know, fucking Japanese R's and L's. I'm calling them Rudo and Recto because that's how I read it. So they're basically from what we know, I'm doubting it, but from what we know, Recto is dead, and Rudo is framed for Recto's death, and therefore he is thrown into the pit, the void, the nothingness, the abyss. And that is basically just like an execution, just like, you know, because a body, a lifeless body is just another piece of trash for them. So they just handle it like every other piece of trash, you know? Which is a pretty cool concept. Thunder. Can I smash? Thank you. So, basically, the thing about this manga is, no, the main character does not die within 5 chapters. There is actually like a, I don't know, some sort of secret society. It's not really secret. There is like a whole country, basically, down there, down in the void. We don't really, yeah, wait, I think we actually do have a map of the place, but I didn't really look at it too long. Can you fucking come up again, bro, please? Thank you. So, essentially, there's just, there are a lot of fucking, there's a lot of trash down here. It's basically just a country of trash. Ooh, that was a nasty ass burp. It's a country of trash, which smells so fucking foul. And when Rudo lands down there because he survives, it's still, like, it's not a thing where everyone who's thrown down there survive. That's what I initially thought, but it's been, like, a thing. It's been, like, it's beginning to become a plot point that, no, you should not have survived that fall. Like, why did you survive? How did you get there? Because a lot of people, like, there are different factions down here at in the pit. I'm just gonna call it the pit. I don't think it actually has a name. Down in the pit, there are these essentially different factions who live. One of the main faction is called the Cleaners, which is, oh my god. The more I think about it, the more questions I just get immediately when, oh my god. So the Cleaners are basically just like fighters who take care of trash beasts. Trash beasts being, you know, manifestations of all this fucking trash that is out there. And then they, we got some lore about it, but I forgot. It's been a while. But somehow they gather up and then they become a beast. And then they just fucking ravage everything because they're beasts, they're mindless beasts. So the Cleaners take care of those. And now their secondary mission-ish is to get up to the surface again, because that's basically Rudo's whole thing. He wants to get back to the surface, or as they call it down here, the sphere. And Rudo is called a spherite, you know, something like that. God damn it, my headset is dying. Wait a minute. So he's a spherite, and I think he's the only one we've seen, at least confirmed so far. There are so many questions surrounding, like, the characters. For example, okay, I really like the power system that they have here, because it's basically surrounding items and, like, you know, things that has value to a person. Like, if you hold, for example, our main character, man, he has held on to dear life, to this pair of gloves that his father Recto gave him. which we're beginning to get a lot more questions about Recto, even though he may or may not be dead. He's still a fucking mystery man. Like, he's basically the Shanks of this whole thing, except Recto is dead. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Basically, there are powers that give you some sort of special ability. For example, there is like there's a person in the cleaners with like the power of scissors, where her scissors just become so fucking huge and hard and like they so fast. Then she uses them to like fight these trash beasts. There's another one of my favorite characters, who been there, who basically just has a fucking stick. His weapon is a stick, and God, I love this man. I also just got a bunch of background stuff on him, and I love the guy. I love the guy. He's basically introduced as this like. He's not really a natural talent. He just trains a lot and he knows a lot about his weapon, which is apparently not common. God damn it! I already used my dash. Yeah, that was my own fault. So yeah, that's basically the power system here, and like I think there's a lot more to the power system because we're getting a lot more knowledge of like. There's this series of clothing that is special somehow. We still haven't found out why. God damn it, I did it twice. We still haven't found out why they're special. But the gloves our main character has is a part of the Watchmen series, like a collection of clothes that we just found out. For insiders, I am at like I just read chapter 70. So that's where I'm at right now. They are inside the trash beast. That's, again, getting ahead of myself. But, God, there are so many questions that I just want answered. God damn. So yeah, these... Where was I even going with this? I'm not sure. God, there are so many things. Basically, it's like a big question right now of why Recto, Rudo's father, why Recto had this Watchmen series thing that he gave to Rudo. Why did he give it to Rudo? Why did he have it? Why did he die? Like, who killed him? And is he even dead? Like, there are so many things that I just want answered. And I could probably connect them somehow if I was like interested enough and like involved enough in the process. But there's a bit of time between me actually reading a bunch of chapters. It's been like a week since I've read the last ones, and then I just crunched through like 20 chapters in the past hour or so. So I'm having trouble keeping track of like absolutely everything. But I know that there's like a through line everywhere. And I desperately hope that all of the like small hints and like hunches I have aren't just like red herrings. Which they could easily be, but I hope they're not. Because they have been shown to like actually go somewhere in the past. These already in the fucking 70 chapters I've read. Like, this story is fucking... It's good. It's not just good, it's good. That's also why I compare the feeling to, like, Naruto's, like, Sasuke retrieval arc. Like, it's not the same tier, but it's getting there. It's getting there quickly. Depending on where this goes, I would like a lot more character deaths, but, hey... That's just because I don't really know the people and I just want character development, I guess. Crappies. That was not good. So basically, that's Rudo's whole thing. He wants to get back to the surface, to the sphere, to find out what the fuck is going on. Like, why was I framed for murder? Who killed Recto? Also, Recto had a reputation of being a murderer, and we don't really know that much about that. But hey, he also had some sort of like love interest at the sphere on the surface that I completely forget about. But she was the only one who didn't hate him because he was the son, quote unquote, son of a murderer. Like, he was a very well known murderer, Recto was, but yeah, hey, when life gives you lemons, eh? So yeah, his whole shtick is getting up to the surface again. But the issue is being nobody has ever like gone from the pit to the surface. Rarely anybody has come from the surface to the pit. Like, there's just this barrier in between that is impossible to penetrate. We're getting the insider knowledge now that apparently there is some sort of way to pass through. Rosa. There is some sort of way to pass through, but we are not sure how whatsoever. We heard a rumor about someone that might be passing through, might have passed through like one time. But now that person is gone. I think he's just straight up dead. He's straight up been killed. By this girl who, I don't know, I really liked her like whole arc, her whole mini arc she had, where basically she's just living in the, okay, so in this land there are these things called just no man's lands, which is where the most trash is accumulated, aka you can't fucking breathe there for more than like 10 minutes or you just die. Which begs the question, because our boy Rudo, he landed in this no man's land, where one of the cleaners, best boy Engine, he was just casually there. Why was he there? I don't know. He played it off as a joke. Like, oh, why were you even at this place in the first time? But he just played it off as a joke. But I know there's more to it, or at least there should be. Also, for example, the reason why I'm positive that there is because they've done this before. There's like a receptionist who, her special ability is her glasses, so she is really fucking good at seeing things and like observing, pretty much, which not only makes her goated in combat because her reaction time is cracked, but she can also notice very small, very significant things about people. And the very first time she met Rudo, she mentioned, oh yeah, what the hell is this? Like, she got a shock, like, oh, I forgot to bow. Like, what's wrong with this guy? And then it turned out all to be just like a joke where, oh, he had some trash on his face. Like, that was it. But it just felt so sus. And I was right, my hunch was right. Like, a little too long later, like, where I almost forgot about it, like 20 chapters later or something, it gets revealed that no, it wasn't just a hunch. It was actually, there was something special about Rudo. Which, I mean, I could have probably guessed if I knew that he was the only one in, like, maybe forever to pass through the barrier. Who knows? Also, why does trash pass through the barrier but people can't pass through? I don't really know. But essentially, I really just want Engine to have, like, some sort of darker side to him, where, like, he has some sort of other motive. Maybe not a darker side, but now that we're getting more knowledge about, like, everything, every faction out there, we're also getting more knowledge about the cleaners, aka the good guys, aka our faction that main character guy joined. And the bad guy group are saying that our good guy group leader is very sus, and he is not. He doesn't have our best interest in mind, which is also very like. I basically nailed that on the fucking head when I first met the boss man, because it was very sus how it was mentioned he was never really there at the office, and nobody knew where he was or when he was gone or how long he was gone for. And then suddenly, very conveniently, out of nowhere, he shows up to meet his new little underling, aka Rudo, aka a guy who survived going through the barrier. Very sus behavior from the boss. I forgot the boss's name, but there are countless small little very sussy things that have, again, countless times proven to be more than just sus. So this is like, I really like this, everything that's going on, and it has potential to be like a really long running series. I'm getting a bit afraid that it's not gonna be as long as I thought, because they are actually, the crew, the cleaners, they're actually getting closer and closer to the sphere. But of course they're gonna do something at the sphere too. They're gonna like have a whole arc there and shit. Probably more than just an arc. The whole story is probably gonna be revolved around there, and like the dynamics between the two lands. But you know, I don't know, it's just fascinating to think of all the possibilities and all the potential this story has. Because there's a lot of it. And I want to be there for it. Like, I desperately just want to read the entire story, like, in its entirety, and not catch up to the weekly. Because that's, for example, that's what happened with One Piece, where I'm now reading it weekly, and it is such a drag. It's not a drag, because there's actually, you know, I'm lying, there's so much going on in One Piece right now. But, you know, compared to reading it, just like, you know, you're done with a chapter, it's just another cliffhanger, then you just turn a page and then you're on to the next one. Whereas One Piece now, sure, they say it's weekly, it's more like bi-weekly, because the author, Oda, he takes so many fucking breaks. It's painful. It's painful. Beyond belief. So I'm hoping it's not gonna be that same experience over again. I am contemplating just pausing at the right moment. Like, for example, right now, if they make it to the sphere, I don't know what's gonna happen, but if they make it to the sphere, they're maybe gonna, you know, I'm maybe just gonna stop reading for like half a year and then come back to it. It's something. It's an idea that I'm working on, but I still don't know. I don't fucking know, man. I just want questions. The thing is, the story is so good that I don't really know if I want to just put it off and wait for half a year. So that's like a struggle. That's the whole thing. Uh-oh. No, we're good. Okay. Ooh, I fucking hate those flies. They're not flies, they're goddamn shit. Yeah, but there are so many sus things going on that I just want answers to, and I don't know if I can wait that long. Also, just with a bunch of side characters, like, what are their whole shticks? There are some characters that I don't like right now, but I expect to have some sort of development in the future. For example, there is like a cleaner, like literal baby. Like, he's confirmed to be 10 months old, and he's just kind of chilling with like everyone else. He has like a whole personality. He has a whole power. He has like I'm thinking his pacifier is his, you know, actual. I don't know. He looked like a 12-year-old or something, but no, he's confirmed to be 10 months old. So that's a bit goofy, unless the character, of course, just lied. They could have done that. They also, the baby man hasn't said a single word yet. So I guess that, yeah, I guess it counts. I guess it makes sense that they're a literal fucking toddler. But they just broke through the trash beast. So basically what's going on right now is they're inside a trash beast. A fucking huge one apparently, that the leader of the rival gang, why can't I remember what the fuck they're called? They're not called the Attackers, that's another faction that probably just got manipulated by these... Uh-oh. Why did I lose both lives on that? That was not the greatest moment of my life. God damn it. Oh, yeah, I'm not playing properly right now. God damn it. Holy shit, I am so dog shit right now. I need to concentrate a little bit just to like hope to get past Collector. Yeah, shit, I should have just dashed past him and got to safety. Well, shit. Well, I didn't really get to talk about the current arc going on, but I guess I'll do that after, like, tonight, where I'm probably finished with it. But, I mean, Gachiakuta right now is absolutely peak. So, hopefully it continues that way. We'll see. See you tonight.